Tonight, breaking news, Iran strikes back. The air war over Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. This just in, new plumes of smoke rising after Iran launches a fresh round of ballistic missile attacks on Israel. But the Iron Dome intercepting the warheads, lighting up the night sky. The U.S. helping shoot down others. It comes after Israel unleashed an overnight barrage on Iran's key nuclear sites. Scientists and chain of command taken out. Our team reporting from a bomb shelter as Israel says more strikes may be on the way. The death toll rising in that Air India disaster. Videos of the final moments inside the plane believed to be on this video recorder recovered from the aircraft. The family on the doomed flight. And tonight you'll hear from the lone survivor about the moment he escaped the wreckage, his first interview in English. Marines in Los Angeles temporarily detaining a man as they're on the street for the first time since the Rodney King riots. Plus, two courts at odds over the president's National Guard deployment, right now still in Trump's control. Swept away, 11 dead in San Antonio after the most rain they've faced in a decade. Cars littering the creek bed, plus a new flood threat tonight. Washington at attention for the president's massive military parade. Democrats and even some Republicans upset over the $45 million price tag and the message they say it's sending to the rest of the world. Why did Kanye West stop by the court building in the Diddy trial today? The new video as rescuers rush to a little girl attacked by a shark. And on this Father's Day, we ask you, what does it mean to be a father? Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And good evening. Tonight, as we come on the air, Iran launching a fresh round of strikes tonight. You can see them streaming through the night sky over Tel Aviv. Explosions rattling the city. Take a look at this video taken from a balcony showing smoke billowing from the ground right after a strike. Most missiles intercepted, but debris raining down, causing damage and injuries. This retaliation coming after Israel struck more than 200 targets overnight, including two key Iranian nuclear sites, taking out some of Iran's top military leaders and scientists. U.S. markets shaken, the Dow falling more than 700 points. President Trump telling NBC News today Iran may have another opportunity now to make a nuclear deal. We've got full coverage, starting with Matt Bradley tonight, live in Tel Aviv.
Tonight, waves of Iranian missiles targeting Israel. You can see Israeli air defenders take out most of them in the night sky. But some landing. This impact in Tel Aviv. Smoke rising in the city's center. Earlier, Israeli officials texted warnings to take cover.
What we are hearing right now is what it's called an extreme alert. We are being told to move now to a secure place. So we just got down to the safe room here in our office building. We've been hearing outgoing missile defense and incoming explosions from those Iranian rockets, most of them interceptions.
The U.S. is helping Israel shoot down Iranian missiles, according to 3 U.S. officials. The Pentagon moved a number of military assets, including Navy destroyers, to the region in recent days to defend Israel, according to another U.S. official. Well, tonight, Israel says the Iranian regime crossed a red line and will pay a heavy price for firing into civilian population centers. The Iranian retaliation coming just hours after Israel's surprise strikes on nuclear sites and military leadership inside Iran. Smoke rising above Natanz, an Iranian nuclear facility. Israel saying the operation, dubbed Rising Lion, killed Iranian nuclear scientists and generals, including Hossein Salami, commander of the Revolutionary Guard. Israel saying Iran's nuclear program posed a clear and present danger, and Iran had enough enriched uranium to build 15 nuclear bombs.
I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons.
According to multiple Israeli outlets, citing an anonymous source, the Mossad spy agency smuggled missiles into Iran months ago, and also secretly installed explosive drones inside Iran for this operation. Meanwhile, President Trump tonight meeting with his national security officials. In a phone interview with NBC's Garrett Haake, the president saying he was pleased with the Israeli strikes against Iran, that Israel had the finest equipment in the world, which is American equipment, and that the Iranian government missed the opportunity to make a deal. Now, they may have another opportunity. We'll see. The U.S. has recently been negotiating with Iran over its nuclear program. The U.S. considers Iran a state sponsor of terrorism, and President Trump has repeatedly said he will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
They can't have a nuclear weapon. I'd prefer the more friendly path.
Both Iran and Israel tonight saying more strikes are coming. The U.S. warning Iran not to target U.S. troops in the region.
We mentioned those fresh attacks at the top of the broadcast. Matt Bradley and his team back in that bomb shelter. Matt, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Back in the bomb shelter for that third volley of Iranian missiles. And we just heard the latest casualty figures. 34 people injured tonight here in Israel, one of them critically. Tom?
Matt Bradley leading us off from Tel Aviv tonight. Matt, we thank you. Let's get straight to Richard Engel, who has covered this region for decades. Richard, walk our viewers through what we saw in the skies, these bombardments over Iran and Israel. There were some very clear differences.
Vastly different scenarios. The Israeli jets, dozens of them, were able to strike targets all across Iran, apparently with impunity. They hit about 200 targets in every part of the country. Compare that to what happened in Israel. Iran fired ballistic missiles, maybe 100 of them, according to Israel, at two cities, two concentrated population centers that are relatively easy to hit, hoping that some of these ballistic missiles would make it through the net, and very few of them did.
Richard Engel for us tonight. Richard, we thank you. Tonight, the only person who survived that horrific plane crash in India is telling his story. In his first English interview, what he saw and what he remembers about walking out alive. Here's Tom Costello.
Staying in India.
In the hospital in Ahmedabad, the lone survivor who walked away from Thursday's Air India disaster tells Indian TV he has no idea why he's the only one of 242 who got out alive.
Emergency door is broken. Yeah. My seat is broken. Yeah. I'm not jumping. Okay. I just walk out in it. Okay. I can't explain. It's miracle, everything.
Vishwash Kumar Ramesh said he was in window seat 11A, right next to the broken exit door, yet managed to climb through. But everyone else died, including a British radiologist and his family who took this selfie. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner crashed into the local medical school's residence hall, killing roughly 30 on the ground.
All of us at Air India are devastated by this loss and grieve for those affected.
Already, Indian investigators say they've recovered critical evidence, a DVR with recordings from onboard cameras which may have captured the pilot's actions on the flight deck, and the plane's black box, the cockpit voice and flight data recorders. Former FAA and NTSB investigator Jeff Guzzetti.
The flight data recorder will record what in particular that we want to know?
The flight data recorder will record hundreds of parameters, one sample every second, on the position of the flaps, the slats, the ailerons, the engine thrust levers, the temperature, the altitude.
Indian authorities have ordered Air India to inspect all of its 787s with GE engines, standard after most aviation incidents.
Tom joins us now. Tom, you mentioned that video recorder on the plane, the DVR, that was found in the debris. Walk us through what that is and what it might show.
Yeah, Boeing offers a camera system inside the 787. It's in the cockpit, the galley, the cabin, which may let investigators see the flight control. There it is. That may let the flight control settings be seen and whether a pilot made a mistake. U.S. airlines do not have cameras on board because pilot unions here oppose that kind of constant camera surveillance. Tom?
Could be full of clues. All right, Tom Costello for us tonight. Tom, thank you. Now to the immigration showdown in L.A. and the first new images of Marines deployed on the ground in that city, helping to protect federal buildings and ICE agents. Here's Liz Kreutz.
Tonight, active duty U.S. Marines officially in L.A. with a mission to protect federal property and ICE agents. Seen here detaining a man who the military tells us was trying to walk through a checkpoint at the Wilshire Federal Building, amid ongoing legal whiplash over California's National Guard, deployed by President Trump in response to violence at protests against ICE immigration raids. Overnight, a federal judge writing the Trump administration's actions were illegal and that the protests in Los Angeles fall far short of rebellion, ordering control of the troops be returned to California Governor Gavin Newsom.
He is not a monarch, he is not a king, and he should stop acting like one.
But then a win for the Trump administration when an appeals court paused the ruling for now. The president praising the decision, writing, "Without the deployment, the city would be burning. We saved LA." Meanwhile, protests here now stretching for a week with a nighttime curfew still in place in downtown. Marines have just been spotted at the other federal building. What is your take?
There's no reason for them to be here. The Marines being out here is laughable. The fact that they're out here for this, it's again been very peaceful on our end.
DHS saying protests have not stopped ICE immigration enforcement raids, saying agents are targeting people here illegally who have criminal records.
We've seen under this last week some operations that have been working to bring in criminals that have been out on our streets for far too long.
This video showing ICE agents raiding a home in Huntington Park. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem there with agents yesterday. The man they were looking for not home. His wife saying he's undocumented and served prison time for a violent offense, though she wouldn't give details.
Throughout the whole process, they have to see me naked, you know. I'm getting changed. I feel humiliated. I'm pregnant. I'm scared. I'm shaking.
Meanwhile, in New Jersey, a manhunt tonight for 4 detainees who escaped from an immigrant detention center in Newark. DHS saying the men were here illegally from Colombia and Honduras. All have criminal records, including arrests for aggravated assault, burglary, and making terror threats. Local officials say the men broke through a dormitory wall in the facility.
Liz Kreutz joins us now live. Liz, talk to our viewers about what the Marines exactly are doing there in LA tonight.
Yeah, well, Tom, we should say the Marines are not here at this federal building where the protests have been centered. Instead, they are at one federal building about 11 miles away from here, protecting that property. The military says they are allowed to temporarily detain individuals before then handing them over to civilian law enforcement. Tom.
Liz Kreutz for us. Liz, thank you. The death toll doubling in Texas with 11 people killed when flash flooding swept drivers away, and search and rescue operations are still ongoing. San Antonio seen more than 6 inches of rain in a day. Now the Mid-Atlantic is bracing for thunderstorms and flash floods, including the D.C. Metroplex, where they could see up to 3 inches of rain. And that weather could threaten President Trump's military parade set for tomorrow evening. Kelly O'Donnell is along the parade route joining us live tonight. Kelly, I guess the question is, will it happen rain or shine?
Well, I've been talking to security planners, Tom. They are worried about thunderstorms, but the word they tell me is it's all a go. All the action will be happening here on Constitution Avenue, and these events are about celebrating 250 years of the U.S. Army, and tomorrow happens to be President Trump's 79th birthday. In the shadow of the Washington Monument, soldiers preparing, not for war, but for celebration. Tanks on the streets of the capital city. Helicopters outfitted for battle, but merely on display.
This is, the heart and soul of the Army.
And this is President Trump's long-desired showcase of American might.
We're coming together to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Army with a grand parade, a military parade.
7,000 soldiers, 150 Army vehicles, and more than 60 aircraft, expected to draw thousands of visitors and the potential for protests. Barriers are a big part of protection here, from concrete bollards to anti-scale fencing. 18.5 miles of this is going up around key parts of the city. The spectacle is also a source of controversy. The cost, up to $45 million. Lawmakers of both parties bristled.
I'm most disturbed by the extravagance.
Everybody else in the jungle knows, and we're aligned. I would save the money.
The optics at issue, too, for an American democracy. Military pageantry like this, typically seen in places like North Korea and Russia.
I'm worried about the image, that it isn't necessarily the best image to show.
A show of force in a peacetime setting, generating a very American sense of skepticism and celebration. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Washington.
We now turn to the Karen Reed trial, so closely watched. During closing arguments today, prosecutors said she killed her boyfriend when she hit him with her car, while the defense said there was no collision. Emily Aketa reports.
Karen, how are you feeling? Feel good.
Karen Reed's fate is officially in the hands of the jury, now for a second time. Deliberating whether she's guilty of hitting her police officer boyfriend John O'Keefe with her car and taking off after last year's trial ended in a hung jury.
She was drunk.
She hit him, and she left him to die.
In closing arguments today, the prosecution using Reed's own words against her.
I mean, I didn't think I hit him, but could I have clipped him?
And pointing to data from Reed's SUV and O'Keefe's phone tracking their movements that night.
She takes that 6,000-pound Lexus, and she makes a decision. And the decision is that she steps on the gas after banging it into reverse.
But Reed's defense, which has amassed a sea of supporters in pink outside the courthouse, insists
there was no collision. There was no collision. There was no collision.
They say O'Keefe's injuries don't reflect a car crash.
Just look at John's arm. These are dog bites and scratches. These are animal wounds.
The defense alleges the police investigation was corrupt.
What evidence was there for the investigators to look into? What did they ignore?
Far too many unanswered questions, the defense says, for a guilty verdict.
We've done everything we can.
And this is the slip the jury will fill out if they reach a verdict, which includes the top charge of second-degree murder. The jury of 7 women and 5 men will resume deliberating on Monday. Tom.
Okay, Emily, thank you. Next, the attempted murder warrant out for one of the NFL's one-time biggest stars, Antonio Brown, AB, what he's accused of doing and where he is now. Tonight, former NFL star Antonio Brown is wanted on an attempted murder charge stemming from an altercation last month in Miami. Authorities say he's still not in custody. Jesse Kirsch is in Florida with the latest.
Watch out! Hey, watch out! Police say this chaotic scene at a Miami boxing event last month was an attempted murder. Investigators allege former NFL star Antonio Brown shot another man, possibly grazing him in the neck after a fight broke out. Now there's a warrant out for Brown's arrest. He's accused of second-degree attempted murder. Brown has not responded to NBC's request for comment, and it's not clear where he is. But today he posted this video on social media, writing #love from the Middle East. After the May incident, Brown wrote, "I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me." This incident is the latest in a string of alleged misconduct and legal troubles Brown has faced.
There's the pass, and there's the catch for the touchdown, Antonio Brown.
The standout wide receiver bounced from team to team, ultimately winning a Super Bowl with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay before he stormed off the field mid-game in 2022. He never returned to the NFL. At last word from investigators, Brown was still not in police custody, and tonight his exact location remains a mystery. Tom?
Jesse, thank you. When we return, why Kanye West dropped in at the courthouse where the Diddy trial is ongoing. Stay with us. We're back now with a surprise guest at Sean Diddy Combs' trial. Rapper Ye, also known as Kanye West, showing up at the courthouse this morning. He spent about 40 minutes there, but never actually made it into the courtroom. And late today, the judge said he's considering removing a juror, saying there's a serious question about his candor. A terrifying moment at the beach. Look at this body cam revealing the swift response to a shark attack off Boca Grande in Florida, injuring 9-year-old Leah Lendl. The aftermath witnessed by her mother. A rescue team used a shirt as a tourniquet while reassuring Leah, calling her, quote, very brave. Thankfully, her family says doctors completed a successful hand surgery. And take a look at this shocking close call in Kentucky. A tractor trailer in flames after going over an interstate barrier. Louisville's fire department saying the driver jumped out while the truck was still dangling on the edge. The driver sustaining minor injuries to his leg from the jump, but surviving. When we come back, a simple question as we head into Father's Day weekend. Why is your dad so special? The answers that touched us all. Finally tonight, there's good news for dads across the country ahead of this Father's Day weekend.
As we get ready to celebrate Father's Day and take a moment to honor and remember our dads this weekend, we wanted to ask you, why is your dad so special? And what does it take to be a father?
I'm Brittany from Indiana, and my dad has always been my biggest fan in life. He has always told me to dream big, and everything will fall into place as it needs to.
My name is Gracie, and what it means to be a dad is looking out for your children and supporting them and being their best friend.
My name is Yunus Ayas. It's just being there as a father, just being her closest friend. I think that would be one of the best way to show my love.
My name is Irving Knott from Detroit, Michigan. Being a father means being a protector, being a provider, really trying to give guidance and instruction to your kids.
My name is Chris. My son's name is Caleb. He was born this past Tuesday at Northwestern Medicine Palos Hospital. We've been trying to have a baby for 8 years. She took the test and our miracle baby came. The best advice: to basically love everybody, respect, work hard at everything he does. Father's Day means that I get to basically take the knowledge that my dad gave me and give to my son.
You're gonna be calling you, buddy.
And to all the dads out there, happy Father's Day, including to Big Lou in Miami. That's Nightly News for this Friday. Remember, tonight and always, we're here for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Llamas. Have a great weekend. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.